Hey, it's Nate with Big Ha Homestead, and I'm going to take a walk with y'all today. We're going to go up to probably where the road washed out at Helene, just show you some of the property. So, hope you enjoy the trip. All right, this is the cemetery road that we've talked about. There's a spring that runs next to it, which I've done some shorts on. I think I have a 5-minute video or something, or 10-minute video of one of the falls on it, but that's the spring that follows up the cemetery road. And so we're gonna head on this way and kind of shut it off and on here and there and get a nice little walk. So there's a waterfall video I have out there, and it's actually me down there behind those trees recording it. Trees here are pretty straight. We didn't cut them much when we were first doing it because we were just trying to clear the road after Helene. There are multiple trees down in the area. And so in this particular spot, I will come back and I will probably cut all those trees so I can get them on the lumber mill, which will be nice. Can't really see it, but way back over there, that's the landslide that we were clearing. Kind of gives you an idea of where some of the stuff is that we're working on around here. And from that, we're going to go visit some graves. So, the reason it's Cemetery Road is right here. This is Thomas Cuthbertson. And then his wife over here, Rachel Cuthbertson. They are the original founders who built the original home here. And an interesting thing, the Confederate flag on this particular grave, a lot of the individuals around here were split. So it was actually, you could be Union, you could be for the South. No major battles were in this area. And this area was also known for deserters. A lot of people would come to this area because there was really no loyalties hard to either side. So that's just an interesting fact of this particular area of North Carolina. So from the cemetery, we decided to head up this road here. About 2 years ago, we re-leveled this out. Really need to put some stone on it so it gets better. But Xander went up here with a excavator. We had extra time, so he went to town and was leveling it all out, making it look better. What's that? Little lug. Always something weird here. But it's starting to fall apart a little bit now. We're starting to get some wash on it again. And it's probably about time for us to suck it up and put some stone on it, but that ain't cheap either. Now, one of the neat things we found while doing this project, recarving this road out, is this stuff here. This is not coal, but almost coal. It just needs maybe like another million years or something, but it'll actually become coal at some point. But it's kind of fun to find on your property that you might have a coal seam nobody will ever probably see. This is a good example of some of the damage here of the trees that came down. You can see all the trees out in the distance there. The ones leaning over here. The trees are down over there. Just a lot of destruction. But our property goes kind of angled over there, and then it goes over to the waterfall, and then back up over to the landslide, which is straight across from here. So we're going to continue on. We had just re-cleared. This is the original road that goes up to the cabin. And trees come down again. There's a lot of trees that are prone to falling after the storm. A lot of the ground's kind of given way. And you can see all the leaning trees out there that could go really at any moment. And you can't see it from here. There's actually a ridge of property right here. That's actually, let me see if I can zoom in. Down there, that's actually sliding. So we're pretty sure if we got another nasty storm like Helene, we would probably end up having that property slide again. But onward we go. We're gonna go to the alternate route. We put this route in after the storm. It was just easier to go this way. And I have found some debitage on this path, but no points, no artifacts. And that's our back neighbor over here. We surround their 13 acres with our property here, but they're never really there. Here's a Vega if anybody wants one. Used to be in a little better shape till Xander had a little fun with it with the excavator, but hey, what kid doesn't want to rip apart a car? I can't blame them. So right up here is where the old road ties in with this road. And like I said, we just cleared it so we could use it again, and then everything likes to fall. But that is the road right there. And next time we should be right where the washout happened. All right, here we are. So you can see on the side here how we've dug this down. And it's probably about 3 foot lower. And you can see all the deer tracks than what it was. And this is where we put in a culvert so that we can cross again. So to give you an idea, it used to be right up on that edge. Actually, you can kind of see it here where the water would have run, is right up on this little edge here, about 3 foot higher than the road. Total, it had to be about 10 foot where it had dropped down, which was crazy. But this was one of the projects we did about 2 months after Helene. And then over here, where you can really see the destruction. You can see how deep it ripped. And basically, it flowed up where these lines were, so it had carved it all the way down deep into this clay. Even exposed some gray clay, some really thick gray clay, or blue clay I think they call it. But see all the trees just leaning over. That's why in one short I posted, I kind of say, you know, it was an enhancement. It's absolutely beautiful. We have amazing waterfalls on the property, so I can't complain about that. And then up there is the cabin, which was on a video about some chores. All right, we're back. Here's some of our old property marker trees. These guys are just amazing. This tree here is oak. I'm sorry, not oak, maple. And I actually tapped that for syrup, and that thing produces some syrup. It'd probably take 3 of me to actually hug around that tree, and I can only imagine the lumber inside that thing must be pretty amazing. But you can see the other trees over here. I think that's another maple, and then there's a couple of really large oaks over there that did take some damage from the storm. The storm pushed down a lot of rock. This here is a lot of the rock from this road. This was our main road. We can travel it again. We've got all the trees cut. It's not the best road to travel, so we normally go with the high road, which is a little nicer, but I'll probably take the low road just to show you and come back down through the high road, which is the old Christmas tree farm. But all that rock there is all deposited. And then we have another little fall. It is right down here. And then we had to cut that again for the Japanese knotweed, which will probably happen sometime this week. But their property goes all the way up to where you see light, and then over that ridge. It's beautiful. So let's carry on. As I was saying before, even with so much destruction and how much it ripped everything apart here, you get features that were created like that. It's a beautiful fall. So water continues down. This flows out where we repaired the road there. But after Helene, this was just all rock and dirt. And you can see all the trees and the debris in the fall where we were just at up there. And it's beautiful in its own way now. Things have changed, and sometimes change is good. Alright, I said I was going to go the upper way back down, but I'm wearing shorts like an idiot. And since I'm wearing shorts, I don't really want to walk through too much tall stuff. But this is where we carved out a whole spot up in here. And that's the old Christmas tree farm. So they had probably a good 1 or 2 acres of farm here at one point. Now disease had kind of run its course on it, and that was it for them trees. But we had to go in there and we started ripping up all the old stuff, piling it up so we can burn and get rid of it. The ultimate plan is cattle up in this spot. It's probably one of the best spots we have for it. Water, plenty of mostly level ground, and not a ton of big trees that we'd have to get rid of. There's not one of the old pine trees. That's a descendant of the Christmas tree farm. So with that, I think that might wrap it up. Oh, I didn't speak about this. So this here is a ton of trash. I mean, it is a ton that is deposited really right in this whole area here. It was the main dump for the people that lived here. And when the storm came, it washed a whole top layer off of there. We were actually pretty amazed. We came out here, we go, well, where's all the trash? So somewhere it swept it all away to some other location down the hill. But you know, you can see bottles, pieces of milk glass, things like that in here from old face cream, things like that. So we're coming back down here to the crossing. Well, everybody, that wraps it up for today. My glasses are steamed up. I'm dying of humidity here under the canopy of the forest. It's been a balmy 85 here on this walk, but it is beautiful out here, and it was definitely worth taking the nice walk out here with you. And hopefully we'll do more of these, get you out in different seasons, get you to see more of the property, especially when everything dies down and you can really see a lot further out there, and we can get a lot more hiking. As for that, this is Nate with Big Ha Homestead. Have a good one.